Hi, this is Dee at Aloha Astro. Let's take a look at the full moon today. It is in the cardinal earth sign of Capricorn, and it's occurring at 3 degrees 28 minutes at 2:39 p.m. Eastern Time. Today is June 24th, 2021. So let's get into the forecast that I've written for the day. Full moon in Capricorn. Thursday, June 24th, can reveal the blocks to overcome or the path you must take in order to reach your goals, as the cardinal earth sign moon opposes the sun in the cardinal water sign of Cancer, and Jupiter, the planet of growth and abundance, in the mutable water sign of Pisces, supports the moon through a sextile aspect and the sun through a trine aspect. Reserved and responsible Capricorn rules the 10th house of career, reputation, mastery, and authority, while emotionally expressive and nurturing Cancer rules the 4th house of home, family, and psychological foundations. Finding the balance between work and home life, who you feel yourself to be and how others see you, or the seeds of dreams you protect but would like to see realized someday, can be assisted now by Jupiter, and to a lesser extent, a quincunx between the moon and action-oriented Mars in creative and courageous Leo. Venus in Cancer opposing Pluto in Capricorn could be stirring up drama or a crisis in your own life or the life of someone you love, which could be a powerful motivator for taking determined steps to regain a sense of personal control, or could lead you to deliver some tough love. If you suppress or ignore deep or disturbing emotions now, you may feel worse when the moon joins Pluto early Saturday morning. Although this lunation may impact the cardinal sun signs and rising signs of Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn more strongly than other signs, the current fixed T-square involving Uranus in Taurus, Mars in Leo, and Saturn in Aquarius has filled my schedule this week with clients who have the fixed sun and rising signs of Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. No matter where Uranus, Saturn, and Mars are transiting in your own chart, expect to feel pressured to change, while Mars and Saturn hold you between the proverbial rock and a hard place. Hopefully the full moon allows you to see past that place where you are now, as the sun sustains you and Jupiter uplifts you as you move forward. So let's take a look at how things look right now in the sky, and then we'll look at the Sabian symbol. And I would just like to put out a request: if any of you use any astrology sites that do what Planet Watcher does, please get in touch with me. Let me know, comment on the video, or email me at alohaastro@gmail.com, because I'm looking for an alternative. This program is absolutely fantastic for being able to look ahead at the future or look behind at the past, see where the planets are and how they move. However, I'm not in alignment anymore with the things that are being posted, and of course the owner of the site is entitled to post whatever he wants. It's just not a place where I want to hang out. Or anyway, so I'm looking for alternatives, but in the meantime, this is where we're at, and we have the time up of 2:39 p.m. And here we can see the moon and the sun opposing. Here is that Venus and Pluto opposition. We have a weak opposition between Mars and Saturn, and it is coming in tighter, and it is making that square being formed right now 5 degrees apart to Uranus, and then a tight square. We've had this Saturn-Uranian energy going on for a while, and it's going to continue for a bit. And right now, that T-square seems to be affecting more people from what I'm seeing in the work that I do, and people coming to me, with what's going on in their lives and asking what's up in their charts. This feeling of wanting to change, but like how, or not feeling that it is possible. Maybe it's also adapting and adjusting to changes that have happened and not being happy with it. As we've got Mars, which is very action-oriented, and Saturn, which puts down foundations or has to do with restrictions. And then we have that planet of instability and change. And a great deal of this is very much on the material level. Some of the issues I've been hearing a lot about are, jobs or where to live. And within relationships, issues over freedom versus commitment, or location, long distance relationships, and what to do about them. And, neither person may be wanting to move to a different place in order to move that relationship forward. So this is creating a great deal of tension. We, of course, have a lot of lovely sextiles and some trines going on in here as well. I did not mention in my forecast, but Chiron is very well aspected, and it's in Aries, cardinal fire sign that says I am. And Chiron is very needs aware, needs oriented, and if something doesn't feel good or feel right to you, you're probably going to want to change that and choose a different direction. We have Chiron making a sextile to Saturn in future-oriented Aquarius, and making a sextile to Mercury, which is no longer retrograde. It came out of retrograde on the 22nd. Now it's direct. However, it will be moving into as it moves forward, it's at 16 degrees now. It is 7 degrees away, or difference with a square to Neptune. And as we move further along in the next 2 weeks, it will pull into a tight square. So you will feel as though, what happened? I thought Mercury retrograde was over. And you might have some Mercury retrograde-esque moments coming up ahead in the next 2 weeks as that square becomes tighter. As Mercury moves forward, Neptune will barely move, but Mercury is going to keep moving ahead. And therefore, some doubt, confusion, uncertainty can come in, or the illusion, deception. Very often we deceive ourselves. If you're changing your path or destiny and choosing between, 2 different jobs, 2 different locations, 2 different lovers, or whatever, there may be greater clarity actually right now than there is in about 10 days. So definitely meditate at this full moon and look at things with as much realistic and analytical process as you can, because that is where the support is here with this configuration. And we also have a configuration here with Mars and Chiron and the Mercury North Node in Gemini. I often look at this and think of it as angel wings, that there's a way to be lifted up and above a situation when we have those 2 overlapping triangular aspect patterns. And this would be the shoulders of the wings. So look toward the Aries location in your natal chart, and where you can be more self-sufficient or make the decisions for yourself. And then look toward imagination, or other paths and possibilities, or making new acquaintances, communicating, asking questions again. Sometimes, maybe during the retrograde, you heard no, and it's no longer retrograde. So ask those questions again. Maybe people's attitudes have changed, or maybe an opportunity that was not there is now opening up because of Jupiter making a trine to the Sun. And we've got Venus in trine to Neptune, which is also very beneficial. And it is beginning to fade, so make the most of that trine as Venus moves forward. You might just catch a lucky break, or somebody different may wait on you on the customer service line or something. Maybe you will get some relief or some help or whatever you are seeking. So try again. Just because it didn't work out 2 weeks ago during retrograde, Mercury retrograde, doesn't mean maybe it won't work out now. And here we've got we're just about coming to the tail end of Venus in Cancer. Pretty soon it's going to move into Leo. And we've got Mars in Leo, which is incredibly active, fiery, passionate, courageous, creative. So I do enjoy that. Of course, it's coming up in conflict with Saturn, but this is also a T-square that can be worked into something. For instance, if you are a highly creative person and you've been looking at a way to monetize your creativity, T-squares can be about doing the work of something. So how do you change your work habits and structure around your creativity, and where's the platform to take that creativity to share it with other people? Sometimes we just really have to work, and we have to get sweaty and persist and do it again and again and again until it becomes something natural and where we feel as if we've mastered something. So the challenge to master something as you move forward in the future and to make it real, you have the strength to do it with that T-square, even though it might not always feel very comfortable, especially if you don't feel as if you're a master yet and you're an amateur, or that you wonder if you're going to be able to support yourself financially with it. I can't really advise you whether you should jump, into out of the frying pan into the fire and quit a day job and go into your own independent thing. Right now, there are some risks. However, sometimes desperation is the thing that makes us successful. And there can be a lot of fear and desperation in some of the oppositions going on, because we are concerned with needs and support with Sun in Cancer. And we've got Venus in Cancer as well. And Pluto, it's very determined, lots of willpower, lots of pressure. But it also, right now, is triggering things like fear, jealousy, especially if it's about loss. What if even if you're in a horrendous relationship, but then what happens when I'm alone? Or what if you hate your job, but what happens if I walk away from it? So there can be a lot of that fear that comes up, and it will be more pronounced the closer the moon is drawing toward Pluto in the next 2 days. So this is a slow, steady full moon. You're going to be feeling things for a bit. I don't think the issue is going to be resolved quickly, and you may need to sit with it or really, tap in deep to your own sense of being able to care for yourself, or get over yourself enough to recognize that you do need help and then reach out and find help, ask for help. The downside of Capricorn energy is that sometimes it's too much, keep calm, carry on, stiff upper lip, don't show anybody that you are weak, be entirely self-sufficient, be the one that people come to for help, but don't ever be the one who needs help. And there can be a lesson with softer Venus in Cancer, saying, well, ask for it, ask for the help. The other thing that's interesting with this is that I have to thank a fellow Aquarius astrologer friend who is really into the asteroids, and she has pointed out that Pholus is in Capricorn right now, and it is at 4 degrees. So that full moon and Pholus are joining up, and it's very slow moving. It spends a heck of a lot of time in its cycle in Capricorn. And if you Google the meaning of it, you can learn more about it. But here it mentions that astrologically, Pholus represents the small cause yielding a large effect, taking the lid off a situation with explosive results, a catalyst or reagent spurring change or transformation. Well, we already have the symbolic planet of transformation, crisis, upheaval, drama, intensity, power, control, Pluto. and it's in very success-oriented, conservative, even restrictive, but structured Capricorn. And we've got that opposition going on to Venus in that cardinal water sign. And my thought here is that we may see things on a global level where potentially some areas have major crisis or transformation that has to do with things that are of nature and very intense, like volcanoes or fires that might result in relocation of people. And the other reason why I feel that has to do with the Sabian symbol that we have for Capricorn, 4 degrees. A group of people outfitting a large canoe at the start of a journey by water. Keynote: the ability to use natural resources and basic skills in order to achieve a group purpose. As this scene was recorded in the original version only in imprecise terms, it seems merely to indicate the start of a journey undertaken by a cohesive group of people who perhaps together have built this large canoe. Thus we see here a common enterprise, which may be an answer to the need for a change of locality. A social group more strongly than ever reveals its homogeneity and common will when it decides to move away from its familiar habitat. The zodiacal sign Capricorn brings this common will to a focus in concrete actions. It does so in terms of socio-political expediency and under a definite type of executive direction. Sorry about that. Even though the decisions are arrived at by common consent. As this is the 4th symbol in the 55th fivefold sequence, we find in it a hint of how to do something concrete. The canoe may also have a special technical meaning as it uses water in order to move. A common feeling response to a specific situation may be implied. The main emphasis is nevertheless on group activity, in circumstances implying a need for change. There's just so much going on right now on the political level. The other thing that's in the news a great deal right now in the United States has to do with reproductive rights, women's rights, and the masculine patriarchal energy of Capricorn is currently opposing the feminine matriarchal energy of Cancer, and the old white men in suits are wanting to control what women do with their bodies, mainly. And that's my own personal opinion, and you may have a different opinion, but on the astrological level, we do have the idea of the nurturing and growth and the inception of Cancer. And then we have the culmination, the goal, or the power, the control, the more masculine, dominating energy of Capricorn, but they are meant to reflect each other and the shadows within each other. Within every Cancer, there is some Capricorn energy. Within every Capricorn, there is some Cancer, and the signs oppose each other to reflect off each other and find a balance. So these issues are up right now politically, and I'm not sure how it will go, but I do think it is very important that if you have something that you believe is important, that you express it to your own representatives. While we have the energy of communication well supported here with that I am Aries energy, and then that I am Aries energy directing toward Saturn in Aquarius, that the political leaders are, there to represent the people and are chosen by the people and have to listen to the people. So do make use of that and use that courage and passion of Leo to energize you to say what you find important and express what you need to say and have an impact on society. It's not a time for passivity. Definitely not. All right. That's it for my insights. Take care and realize that we have some Plutonian volatility going on around this full moon, as well as Pholus, and that people's reactions, responses to you may be extreme, or you may be feeling the extreme emotions that a full moon brings up. So go easy on yourself, go easy on others. And until the new moon comes around in about 2 weeks, I wish you a very happy and abundant time period. Take care.